Okay, so Mario Kart World has been out for quite some time now. So it's time to do a good old tier list ranking. Now my opinion could differ from yours, so respects to all opinions out there. If you guys could disagree, just let me know in the comments on what your favorite tracks are, because that's exactly what we're gonna do today, is rank all the tracks. Now, intermissions do not count, so this is all gonna be 3-lap tracks. That's the best way I think we're gonna put it, because intermission you're not gonna be able to get the full experience. So yeah, let's get started. First up, Mario Bros. Circuits. We're gonna give this one a C tier. Now look, it's fine. Here's some things like, it's fine. I do like the theming on like the Grand Canyon style, and don't get me wrong, it's a good first like impression for a starter track. The thing is, like, I feel like it's kind of getting carried by the visuals, just in terms of the environment. The track is okay itself, because all you do is just kind of like just turn left at the beginning, and you just kind of go on like the Grand Canyon, and just kind of like for like a short or a decent amount of time, and then take the road down, and then you're back at the finish line. But there are guardrails, so it's a beginner friendly track. What can I say? Now music, I just think not my favorite music, but it's alright. It's an alright music it's a good first impression. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, we're not gonna include any shortcuts, because I wanted, if this is like my first time playing normally, I would play it like, yeah, no, I would rate it like that. So yeah, that's why I give Mario Bros. A C tier. Okay, next up we have Crown City. I'm gonna give this a B tier actually. I do quite enjoy this one, because you do start off on the bridge and you kind of like go around the city. I think it's, and then you like go through these different buildings. You could, like, there's roof, like you go on some rooftop, you like solar panels, you glide, and then you kind of like, there's like this whole other area of like a backwards alleyway with graffiti and stuff. Like there's some cool different, maybe go on the beach. I just think I do like the idea of like the city, driving through the city. It is really cool. Like I would like free roam that, like if I were in an actual city. Music is pretty good on that, I'm not gonna lie. It's like an actual city vibe. What's making, I would put this in a higher, but it's just I mean it's a good simple track. Why I would put this B tier, because it's just good. It's just a good track. It's like nothing like, you know, like cool. It's such a cool track. Like I like it. Look, also another disclaimer, I do not hate all of these tracks. This is just my personal opinion. I should have adjusted that at the beginning of the video. So yeah, that's why I give B tier for Crown City. Next up, Whistle Top Summits. I gotta give this an A tier. I just think it's such a really fun track, because there's a train that you could race and avoid the obstacle towards the end, but there's like a bunch of like guards. Well, I won't say a bunch, but there are plenty of guardrails there that you can grind on, even on the train tracks too. And there's a bunch of like twists and turns, which it's really enjoyable. It's really fun. Now, don't get me started on the music, because I believe it's an Irish music. I don't know, but don't get me on it, because it's one of my favorite musics in the game. It's really, I just really like this track overall. Now, DK Spaceport is gonna be, this one I'm gonna have a hard time deciding. I'm gonna put it in A tier. Now, the beginning it's a build up, so you're kind of like, you're going up, but not on the launch pad. Not that I would say. You go and it'll just reveal like the whole like stage of like the Donkey Kong recreated from like the arcade, which is one of my favorites when I first played an arcade. Really fun. It's really cool. And then I do like this in the Robo DK. It's really cool seeing him go up the stage or go up the track like it's the arcade game, which is cool. And now you're driving up on that track, which is really cool. It does get chaotic sometimes, but it's whatever. It's a fun stage. I really like the theming all around. It's really cool. Honestly, I do kind of wish we did get DK jungle level, but I'm happy with the two DKs that we have, theme tracks that we have here. So there's like walls, there's these guardrails, And then you have to avoid barrels too, which is it's a cool like addition, like shooting out of the cannons. Final lap, my favorite music detail. It's the hammer. You like you smash the barrels that for the final lap. It's really cool because you're avoiding the barrels that the Robo DK throws at you. It's like if you don't finish, like you're done for. It's a really fun track. It's an A tier overall. Okay, now moving on to the next track, Desert Hills. We gotta go put it in D tier. Okay, desert tracks are cool, but they never been really like my style. I guess some of the tracks might not be good as like in like a large like wide track scale. I don't know if that fits very well. Again, I feel like it's getting carried by the visuals of what the game has to offer, which is fine. You do go up like a few couple turns, and then there are like these little kind of like sand like patches, kind of like sand bumps. They're not really like hills, but because it's more towards the end, and then there's a couple turns going down and you repeat. They did like add like some water by like the starting line just to make it like not completely dry and add a little bit of greenery, which is fine. Adds a bit more pop to it, but it's an average med track to me, honestly. So that goes in D tier. Next up is Shy Guy Bazaar. It's a B tier. It's like if you've ever seen Aladdin, that's what this reminds me of. I just say it does pose a good challenge because you're driving through like an area with like a bunch of like shops and stands, like a market, and it can pose a challenge because I bumped into those a couple times, and there are some hidden paths too. And I do like the environment just going through there, but like, and then the ending with the gliding, you can see like the little Shy Guy on the flying carpet, which is really cool. It's a B tier. It's a solid track. Now we're on to Wario Stadium is a B tier to me. Okay, look. It's a B tier. It's fun. I do like the music. It's just like all you're doing, it's very fun. All you're doing is what you're supposed to do in the same. You're jumping, you're pleasing the crowd. Look, they do that in the most fun way possible when it comes to that stuff, and I do like it. The theming is really cool, I'll be honest. I do like that, especially the big ramp with the flames. It's a really cool addition. You have some dirt patches, kind of like if you're not careful with your turning. It's a really cool track. I don't know, like, it's a really solid track. I don't know what else to say. Next up, Airship Fortress. Airship Fortress, again, is a B tier. Solid track. I do like it. Now, off camera, I have been learning shortcuts, which is probably my best track. I'm not saying it's my favorite, but it's my best track. But we're not going to talk about that. It is cool. I do like the environment in the background. Music too. You do drive on a bridge, and there are bullet bills shooting at you. That's a good depth challenge to the beginning of the track. You would steer up on the bridge onto the ship, and then you do have some of those mole kind of like, I don't know the names to those, kind of like pop out like the ground. If you accidentally run into them, you spin out. And then you would go down inside the ship where there's these flames with guardrails. Really cool. You could trick off of that and avoid that, and then you just turn into a cannon, you shoot out into the tower, and then spiral down. Here, the thing is, I would have ranked it higher if it wasn't like maybe that short of a track, but it's a solid track. I do like it overall. DK Pass. I'm gonna put it in C tier. Now, it's really cool, kind of like emulating that you're skiing down. Honestly, I would have preferred maybe Mount Wario to be the game, or DK Summon from MarioKart Wii. But this is fine too. I'm not complaining. You do go up into a tunnel like you're going to a ski resort, which is cool. Yeah, it could be like very tight or maybe a little slippery just on like the curves. But if you're used to it, then it probably won't affect you. There is snowballs coming from like maybe on like the very top from the turn, but like you could probably rarely get hit by those. Then you will pass these cabins with like a few bumps. Then after turning some more, there is a ramp with the boost, probably giving you a sense of speed, which it's cool just for their immersion, but I feel like I'm not actually getting that, what the ski does when they go off the slope, or snowboarding. I'm not getting that sense, but it's a charming track. It's a C, it's a charming track. I mean, I'll do this if it was online. Next up, Starview Peak. I'm gonna have to give it a D tier. Now, I know in the intermission tracks you go through the library, which probably would have ranked it a bit higher, but we're not doing intermission tracks. It's just based on the 3 laps. I was hoping they would have kind of done something better with the beginning, kind of like going up and turning on to the path, which is a green and yellow. Like maybe, I guess, trying to go inside the observatory part of it. I'm not sure what part of it is called, of the building, you go and you see like some constellation little details. It's fine, but you kind of go past that real quick. I feel like the boost, like there's the like top half, there's a boost on the yellow path. It's fine, like it's whatever. That's like the only, that's like some of the routes I go to anyways, because I want to feel like that sense of speed. But then there's like the water area, which is, I feel like kind of slowing down your pace. But maybe that's the reason why they added the boost panel, just to kind of like make up for it. It's an okay track. We all know the editing. You glide down and then you just repeat. It's an okay track. Sky High Sunday. Oh, we're back in the A tier. Now this is my opinion here. I like this redesign a bit better than what we got in the Booster Course DLC pass on MarioKart 8 Deluxe. This is just a really fun track. Not S tier, but it's fun. It's like really themed as that dessert, like at the gelato. It's like themed after all that stuff. Now you have the two options. You could go on the rail or you can glide. Theming is just really good. Okay, I've been talking about the theming too much. You do take a turn, there are some hills, there's some guardrails. It's a good mix, like almost a perfect mix on the track of what you can do to strategize. You ride some pop-ups, like there's 2 ways you can go, maybe 3. There's 3 ways I think too. I don't think I've ever taken the third path, like halfway through the track. And then you have like the final turn, which could get very chaotic sometimes. And you go on a couple ramps and back to the beginning and do it over again. It's enjoyable. I really like the track. It's just really fun. Next up, okay, Wario Shipyard. It's a C. Decent. It's a decent track. I do like the theming to it, where it's kind of like a ghost, kind of like haunting the ship. The waves kind of give it like a good atmosphere, kind of like look to the track. It's just, I don't know what else to talk about, because you kind of barely go on the ship anyways and then shoot out that cannon. But the only time that you're actually on starting line to go off into the waters, that's pretty much it. Like, there's really nothing else I can say about this track. It's just a decent track. Koopa Troopa Beach. I will give this, I'll give this a D tier. It's an alright track. Look, only thing that's carrying it is the visuals, because it's a beach island, which is, it's cool. The music does slap though, it's really good though, but it is a short track, because all you do is drive around circles for like, what, 5 laps? Yeah, that's all it is. I do like the little detail though, like the disco Koopa, kind of like vibing out to it though, like I would have done the same thing. Okay, so, Safari. Far Away Oasis. Give it a C tier. It's a cool track. It's a cool track. I do like, so the beginning kind of does kind of like get you into it. Go through the water, you turn up the ramp, which is kind of like the split path, and then which does merge into one, then you shoot off onto, I think, another mountain, which maybe turns into a bridge. I don't know. I'm trying to remember this all by head. I'll just edit it in later, so if you know what, because it makes it like I don't know what I'm talking about. So there's some guardrails, and you do go on a water path, and there is an alternate path too, which is on upper level. I would say it's kind of like a bridge, something like that. You can also go on that too. And then there is a waterfall kind of like to your right, but it's not really that noticeable because you're kind of like driving on it. Then you just kind of like do a turn back to the beginning. Cool track. Now there is one part like music that does remind me of Athens Dash from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Peach Beach. This one might hurt me because I played on the Wii growing up, and Mario Kart Wii was, and this was on Mario Kart Wii. This is one of the cool tracks. I'm trying not to be nostalgia biased here. I'll give it a C. I'll give it a C. No, I do like the visuals. I do like the building. Like, they presented that really well. It is kind of like a classic on the first lap. You go down right on the beach. They actually made it easier to avoid those damn cataquacks. If anyone was growing up on the Wii back then, you know the trouble you always had running into those things, slowing you down so much. So it's just like your typical beach, which is cool. I do like the scenery. And then on the second lap, which I do like the new addition, you go up through the resort. Now there is a shortcut, but again, we're not thinking about shortcuts here. And then you kind of like, you could trick off a bunch of stuff. It's pretty cool. Like, I don't have much to say about it. It's just really cool. There's a gliding section, pretty much like to a bridge, just revealing that it's gonna be like the final lap, I suppose. And then I feel like Nintendo kind of like run out of ideas what else to do with the track, because all this is just like water and like really nothing else. Is going back to the other side of the resort itself to finish the race. Overall, it's Peach Beach. Salty Speedway. I am gonna give this in B tier. I do like this one. I think the way they showcase the water visuals in this game, I think, is the best. Gives you a good sense of what the water is like. It's a good use of the water. It does remind me of Europe, like Italy, at least from what I heard from other people. And no, from where I've been in Europe, it's nothing like that. I would have pointed out if it is something I've been to in Europe, but no. This is more Italy, I would say. Venice. It's really cool. So you drive, you're driving through like the canal, and then you do take a turn uphill, which like has like a cool like waterfall, like mini waterfall coming out of the walls, if you know what I mean. It's on your side. Drive up, trick up the stairs, which is fun. It's kind of like a little kind of like viewing city area, I would say. Not like necessarily city, but it's a good viewing area. Kind of like drive that for kind of like a short time, and then you would turn to go down the waterfall. Now I would say if you don't drive properly, it will kind of be hard to go down the waterfall, which later in this video, when we get to another track, I will be probably explaining that. So yeah, it's a fun track. It may be kind of like a shortish kind of like track, but I just think it's really fun. The ending is like nothing special. Just kind of like at least it's a better ending than Peach Beach. I'll say that. Oh, and I also do like the little details of kind of like the toads on like the canal, like the canoe and stuff, just paddling. It's just a fun detail. Now Dino Jungle is A tier. It's a fun, different redesigned take on this track. I love how it reminds me of like Jurassic Park. I do like how they went for that choice. And you do kind of like drive under some dinosaurs at the beginning. And then there is a place where you could kind of like rail grind off of a dinosaur. I'm just gonna point out because I don't know if that's technically a shortcut or just the track, like one of the routes. But I'm just gonna say it in there anyways. And there are two paths though, kind of like on the road. You can go up into like the laboratory. You kind of drive through there, but basically I thought it would be like something cool, but it's like really nothing special. It's just kind of like, oh, it's just like the dinosaur nest. Kind of hop on the little ramps and then you just avoid some of like the little like water like blowholes shooting up at like the end. But why I ranked it at A is just because I really like the pacing of it. Like, it has a good flow to it. Great question mark block ruins. It's an A. Question mark block ruins. I like the track design. You go through the question mark block. I wish there was kind of maybe a little bit more to see in there, but it's whatever. You kind of drive past it quickly. And then you have like these multiple routes, kind of like after like the few turns. You have upper path and like you have your standard bottom normal path. There are these like clouds that are quite fun to bounce onto through the rings, and then you have like a good glider, kind of like revealing, oh, you're back at the stars. It's a fun track. I really like it, especially at night though. I would say it looks really cool with the torches. Sheep Falls, our first ever S tier. Now this is my favorite water level. This is just a fun track. After like it's such a good entry, driving up like the staircase at the beginning, going over the bridge, because it's like a nice scenic view because of the waterfall. Then you would turn behind the waterfall, which is such a fun like addition because you're forced to kind of like go through the environments with the track. And now the water sections. I like the water sections. I just think it's so much fun. I know a lot of other YouTubers say like, oh, they don't like this track because of the water section. Well, they just don't know how to handle around water well. First of all, it can get really chaotic too online, so just keep that in mind. I'm not saying they have skill issue, the other YouTubers. I'm just saying that they should probably practice more on turning. Yeah, you go down. There's a bunch of cheats too. In like the water, you kind of go down. It's kind of like a current too, a bunch of tricking and stuff, a bunch of turns, which makes a good challenge. In the ending, there's a bunch of like kind of like rocks you can trick. Well, not rocks, but it's kind of like bits of land to trick on. I really like the theming. I don't know if they could have done anything better with that theming for a cheap stage. Dandelion Depths, C tier. Now, I do kind of like the theming because it reminds me of the Mario Odyssey, kind of like Wooden Kingdom, like the Steam Gardens area. I would say the track is kind of like, it's kind of like alright at the beginning. Get a couple turns, tricks, could wall ride up to like the second like area or go down the normal area. I will say maybe kind of like the going down inside, like on the way down inside with all the dandelion stuff inside the cave, maybe could have been better at revealing it, because you could have kind of see it. Maybe if you look down from the starting point, you could probably see it going down the spiral. But the water does kind of make up for it though. There's just more trickings and there's boost past to go up. Yeah, nothing else to say. It's just dandelion does. It's a solid, it's a decent track. Boo's Cinema, I'm giving a surprising A tier. This is probably the best Boo themed track that is not it's a haunted house. I do like, it's such a cool old like what 80s 90s kind of like vintage movie theater. It's really cool. I do like the music to it too. It really sets the mood. Hopping into the movie after the theaters. It's really, I feel like they could have done more with it, but it's really cool. Riding on the wheels, and then kind of like doing a trick off of this stuff. Then you do kind of go out of it and repeat. But again, the pacing and the flow is super enjoyable on that track. I enjoy the theming a lot. Music fits perfectly with it. That's why I give it an A tier. Dry Bones Burnouts is a B tier. Probably one of the best Dry Bones tracks from any of the series, because I have never been usually a big fan of like the Dry Bones Ruins, but I do like this one. It's like the Dias de Muertos, Day of the Dead kind of like theme, with a bit of kind of like that little Mexican music in the back. It's a good vibe. I really do like it. It has a cool like lava theme to it, like too. You're driving on like a skull on a big beast, whatever it is. I don't know what it is, whatever it is, but it's really fun. A couple guardrails and like stuff, but the turning is what makes it really fun. Like all kind of like the twists and turns on the track. With a bit of gliding sections too. Like nothing else to say. I just think it's just a cool track. Moo Moo Meadows. This is gonna pain me, because I enjoy this on Mario Kart Wii. It's a D tier. I just think the music was kind of like, I feel like probably should have been a little bit more fast-paced from like the older times, but it's fine. The track is like, the whiteness kind of kills it, and it just kind of loses its charm a little. I don't know what else to say. It's kind of, it's an alright track. It's just kind of loses its charm a little. Shoko Mountain, B tier. I have to start off with the music. I love that rock music. You cannot tell me it's good. Now, it is a redesign track, which I don't mind, but it is kind of different though, so it will be kind of hard to first tell from like old like the Mario Kart 64, Mario Kart 8 booster cars past DLC. But I do like kind of like that. You know how like drive by through the chocolate trick out of it, but I do kind of like the little detail of the charging just kind of jumping sideways. There are some boulders and stuff. Now, look, I'm not biased. I do like chocolate, but I'm a chocolate. I love chocolate. It's goes through my bloodline, through my family. But that's not. But I'm not biased here. It's just a cool track overall. I don't know what else to say besides like the cool monster truck detail that you do. Maybe I like the beginning of the track, or that you kind of go through. Ooh, nostalgia hits here. Toad's Factory, one of my favorite tracks on Mario Kart Wii. I'm putting this in A. I love this remake with just like the stomping kind of like iron boxes you have to drive by, like the little machinery from like. But you cannot see the music is, chef's kiss. It's one of my favorite remakes. It's just you will go through like the factory. I wish it was a little bit more like inside the factory, but it's really cool going outside, kind of like what they do now. It's like construction work on like the water. You could check off of those, and you go in with like this, kind of like those moving like escalators, conveyor belts. There you go. And then you kind of do trick off, like do outside, and it's really cool trying to like avoid the mudslide, trying to get to like the boost panels, but those moving trucks like. Construction trucks get in your way. It is just a fun track. I'm just happy they returned it. Okay, Bowser's Castle, straight up S tier. It's not. Ooh, it's fun. It's so fun. The music is great. I do like that you can do a bunch of cool tricks on that track at the beginning through like the control, like going to the control room. You do take a couple turns in there, but where it really shines, you go up through like the spiral volcano in the control room, through the clouds. Like if the volcano erupted, and then there's like Tesla coil tracks where you go fast, and that's why it's so fun. Really like the idea. You get that good sense of kind of like, you know, like on a roller coaster when you go down a big drop, you get like that good kind of like feeling in you, kind of like where your body shifts kind of like downwards, but you feel like you're going up. You get that good feeling for a little bit on the ramps, on those sections. In the gliding too, when you kind of get that even pace, it's really fun. It's just an S tier. Acorn Heights. It's a B tier. It's a fine track. Just like the track layout kind of like ranks it up there though. Just because a bunch of turns and like that stuff, it makes it fun because you have to kind of like do a little bit of drifting. But I do like the thing where you're kind of like in like the tree gliding and you're kind of like really small, like as if you just shrunk. I mean, if I think there are those wigglers there. I'm just not sure where, if they're like on the track where, because I don't pay attention to my surroundings. It's just a fine track overall. Mario Circuits. It's a C tier. I do like how it kind of like accommodates like together like all three of those Mario circuits from like the older games. The visuals do carry it. Just looks really cool. That's all I have to say. There's like nothing else I can say besides the ramp. It's really cool. Peach Stadium is oh, definitely not an F tier. It's not that bad. It's a C tier. It's alright. I still think Mario Kart Stadium is a better like track than Mario Kart Deluxe. So I'll say that. I'm just saying it's because it does try to recreate that anti-gravity section, kind of like to get a good sense of heights, which it kind of does well. I just feel like it's kind of like you're not getting a good view of the castle, which I feel like would have been more cool though. Now, Rainbow Road, F tier. Psych! It's going in A tier. Now, I will say this, it is one of the longer tracks in the game. Probably the longest track in the game. Oh man, the music is glorious. Oh man, what can I say about this track? I love the atmosphere. I love the way it looks. It's colorful. Yeah, it's really colorful. I love like the first phase. Like the first lap, there are some like you're kind of like breathing it all in with the clouds and stuff. Like you're breathing it all in, you're just on the track. You kind of go on some bumps, some turns, and like all that stuff, like some multiple paths. It's a good like introduction to the track. And now you do glide through the clouds, which leads to the second track, like lap of the track, which is like it's like a good calming water section. You have like a bit of like the star bits from Mario Galaxy, I would say, flying around. Kind of hard to notice though. And there are Lumas like cheering on for you, and I think there's Toads there too. It's really cool. It's a fun little charming area. A bunch of tricks sometimes on the waterfall, on like one of the waterfalls. Go under the bridge. It's a charming track, and you kind of do go on like the blue or kind of like road, driving upwards, multiple paths. And I will say it is more of a challenge when you're online. It's a charming second lap. It's charming. I do like it. And now this is where like you go. Now I never expected to go in space on the third lap, which is really cool. You go into the space station. Now you do get anti-gravity, but it's kind of hard to notice a little, but you probably will notice. Now that's where the music does kick up. It gets really good, like electro kind of like party beat. You do have some thwomps as like an obstacle, but there are some really good turns because you are kind of like going really fast depending on the speed you're doing. But it's a fun like third lap, final lap. Okay, like gliding down back to Earth. The music. Please tell me no one has teared up on the music, and I'll tell you why later on. You go on the split path after like the gliding, which is enjoyable. A bunch of tricks and stuff, boosting, which I feel like could have made you a bit faster, but it's whatever. Now, where it really hits you there, you glide off onto like the final stretch. I think it's onto your right. They're just waving goodbye to you from all like the tracks in space, like on the train. Kind of like end of the road for you guys. Look, I kind of like did a little tear up. Not crying, okay? A little tear up. Like you can feel it. It's a good ending. Couple turns. It gets a real kind of like intense though, just because if you're online, you're just trying to fly right through. Fly through the finish. Done. That is the track. Now I'm surprised that these are not F tier, because I wouldn't say like, because I do replay most of these sometimes, but not as much as the others. So thank you for watching. That is my opinion. Now you guys can comment below what your favorite tracks are, your least favorite tracks are, like, or if you agree or disagree with me on this stuff. On my, what the fuck am I saying? On this tier list. Do not comment to intermission tracks. I'm not going through hell to go through all those. No way. And I probably won't do those. Well, I should probably go live again and do all the knockout tours.